Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann. We are batty about Halloween, and we can show you how to make these bats. The body is an old-fashioned clothespin, and the wings are made out of a round coffee filter that we've colored with washable markers. So we can take you step by step. The first step is to paint the clothespin. I used acrylic paint. It can be poster paint. I like to paint the top part, or one half of it, let it dry, and then paint the other. That works really well. You can do it however you like, of course. Then the next step is to either paint eyes or glue on some wiggle eyes. And if you find them that are self-adhesive, that's a lot easier than trying to glue them. The next step is to take the coffee filter and fold it in half. This is rather magical. And then take markers that are water-based, also called washable, and color them any way you like, just to give you an idea how easy it is. It's great fun. I want to give you an idea of colors. This is black with an orange marker. This is black marker with a red marker. This bat is just using black. And look how interesting that is. Some white spaces were left, and it turned out like that. I love it. This bat is purple with a tiny bit of blue and black at the top. Black seems to be consistent. And this bat is black, green, purple, and blue. I couldn't resist using all those. So back to the markers. Start with a purple marker if you wish, or actually just whatever colors you like. And start coloring it. Always put something protective underneath your desk too, so it doesn't go all the way through. Now I do like to use black because the body is black. But as you see in the vampire bat, the body is red. So you can make the body any color you like. And I do like to put a couple of different colors in. Now when I'm finished, it looks something like this one. You can color it any way you like. It can be stripes, it can be horizontal stripes, it can be blobs, or you can make it sort of geometric. You'll notice that the marker doesn't usually go through to the back. So the next step is to take it and mist it lightly with water. If you have a spray bottle, just do a little bit, because you can always go back and add more water if you want. And then it turns out something like this. Now if you don't have a spray bottle, you can try dropping it on with your fingers and see how you like it. What I like about it is it goes and it colors the back. So it's very mesmerizing to see this. The next step, you can use it just like this, or you can do a decorative edge, cut a decorative edge on the wing. So fold it in half, like that. You can do zigzags, you can use decorative scissors. What I'm going to do is cut out 3 scoops, because I want to mimic a bat wing. So I'm going to do that right here. Just 3 sort of half circles. And they don't have to be the same size. So it looks something like that. And open it up. So that looks kind of like a bat wing. The next step is to take the body of the bat, the clothespin you've already made, and pinch the middle, kind of scrunch it up. See, it's already starting to look more like a bat wing. And then feed it. Open this clothespin and feed it into the clothespin. And there you have a bat. Now you can glue a magnet to the back if you want to put it on the refrigerator, or you can add a loop of string if you want the bat to hang like this. If you do, after you make the loop, just open the clothespin and feed the loop in there, and it will hang nicely. Now if you want the bat to hang upside down, like this vicious vampire bat, put the string through the little spring hole that's in the middle of the clothespin. So I hope you become batty about Halloween, and I hope you have great fun making your own bats. Thank you for joining us. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann. Halloween is just around the corner, and it's so much fun to dress up in a costume or put face paint on and trick or treat. Now, when you go outside and trick or treat, you'll need a container or a bag of some sort. And we love the idea of upcycling, which means to take something that's not so good looking maybe and transform it into something really useful. So we love the idea of making your own trick-or-treat bag. So here's one idea. Just a humble bag, not terribly attractive. Love the fact that it's got handles, not critical, but it's nice. And you can paint it to transform it into a trick-or-treat bag that you'd be happy to use. I'll tell you how I did this. First of all, I used a small bowl. I traced it. Depends on what size your bag is, depending on the size of the moon. And I painted that circle white. And the reason I did that is it will help make the yellow or orange, whatever you decide, really pop. So I let the white paint dry and then painted it sort of a yellow-orange. The next color, I want it to be night, since that is a full moon, but I didn't want the color to be too dark. So I used sort of a medium dark blue. And then I painted that next. But you can paint these in any order you like. I'm just telling you how I did it. The next thing I wanted was 2 bats. Now bats may be easy to draw and maybe not. I had a little bit of difficulty. So I decided to make a paper template using just a scrap of paper. I drew a couple bats, chose the one that I thought looked okay, folded it in half, and then decided which side I thought looked the best, and then cut it out. And then open it. There had a bat that I liked. And I just traced the bat and then filled it in with black paint. You can choose your own colors, whatever you like. And then as a finishing touch, this is a bit of glitter glue, just to make a little bit of sparkle to the bats. And I used it for the eyes too. So that's one bag. That's mostly painted. The second bag uses a different technique, and it's called collage. I painted the background a color that I like. You can choose any color you like, and then used paper for the rest of the details. It can be colored paper, or it can be paper that you've colored with a marker. You know, white paper if you have it on hand. This I traced around a glass to get that shape, but you can draw these freehand. They'll be very charming that way. And this I traced around a bottle cap. This is just a strip of pink with 2 teeth, little triangles. I use coins for these. I like the idea of using several colors that are sort of closely related to the background to make it a little bit more subtle, so the eyes and the mouth really show up. Now this monster does have antennas. They may be ears, I'm not quite sure. So these are just strips of paper, about 1 inch, and then I drew a circle for the top, and then cut them out with decorative scissors. That's just an option. You can also make this a square, a triangle, or anything, but I love the idea of adding a contrast color. Now as a tip to make these really stand out nice and perky, the stem is glued pretty deep inside the shape, the outside shape, and the stem itself is painted into the bag at least 1 inch. And that way you have perky antenna, perky ears. Now the last idea today to inspire you is to paint the bag a dark color. I used black, which is about as dark as you can get, and then added wiggle eyes with a contrast base of green, and then cut strips of paper to glue on to make a mummy. So that's the last idea. And I'll show you, give you a little step-by-step. First step is to take this humble bag and paint it a very dark color because it's going to be a shadow. It can also be dark purple or a dark blue. And then I like a neon color to back the eyes because it does add a pop of color. So we've got that. And then I glued on circles, white circles for the eyeballs, and then just drew in black with a pen. Now I'm going to glue these on. It's always nice to work with something to protect your work surface because glue is going to get everywhere. So I like to glue these on at not the same level. I just think it's a little bit more wacky. So that's step number 2, is to glue on eyes. Now you can use wiggle eyes if you like, but this is to show you that you have other options. Really press that down. And the next step is to cut strips of paper. Now I use white, but there are other options. You can use any color you like. White is sort of classic. And then you can either use glue or a glue stick, and use plenty of glue on this glue stick, and then start putting them at funny angles. I like to partly cover the eyes because it really looks like they're hidden in there. And the strips of paper don't have to be straight, and they don't have to be the same width. They just have to be on angles. And you get the idea. It might take a lot of glue to stick because it's paint. But that's the start of it. So this is the finish. You just keep adding strips until you've got it pretty well covered so the eyes are sort of peeking out. So those are 3 ideas. Now you could have a trick-or-treat bag party like a couple weeks before Halloween, and everybody makes their own. These are just to inspire you. You might think of something totally different. But I hope you have a very happy Halloween and a grand time trick-or-treating. Thank you for joining us. Happy Halloween. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday. It's a time for us to give thanks for all the good things in our lives and then celebrate with a dinner. I really like all of that. And turkeys have become a symbol or an icon of Thanksgiving. And we can make these amusing turkeys to decorate the table or decorate the room any way you like. And they can also be a place card if you want to write someone's name. That also works quite well. And these are made from a paper roll, paper tube. I'll show you how to do it. The feathers are made out of a coffee filter or a piece of brown paper from a paper bag. They both work really well. So step by step, we'll start with the body. The first step I'll show you is the tubes come in different colors depending on the brand. They're all good, doesn't matter what color you have. What you want to do is flatten it. That's step number 1. And then once you've done that, draw, and I recommend using pencil, draw the head and maybe a bit of the body. Do it any way you like. Mine's kind of round. Yours might be taller. They're all good. The next step is to cut it out with a pair of scissors. And when it's flat, it helps us cut out this turkey. Just keep going around. You need a nice sharp pair of scissors. Big scissors. Your adult might do this if that's helpful, with a big pair of scissors. And then once you have it all cut out, we can decorate it. Now I like to turn it over and cut off the back part and just sort of round this. I think it looks a little bit better that way. Now at this point, You can either, draw in the details and paint them, or paint the whole body like I did here for this one. What I do recommend is leaving a little strip on the back that you haven't painted, because you want to glue this to the tail. It'll glue better that way. Now, once you have the turkey painted like this, the next step is to either cut the beak out of paper or glue on a bit of candy corn for the beak. I like both ideas because it sets you up, tells you where the eyes should be. Now you can either glue on wiggle eyes like this, preferably self-adhesive, or draw eyes with a marker, which I'm going to do right now. And this, once the white has dried, I will go in with black, so it really looks like an eye. And the next step is to cut a wattle out of red paper and glue it on. And once you do that, you are ready to make the tail. Now here is the coffee filter. I'm coloring it with washable markers. Always work on something to protect your surface. And I'll just continue doing this. I'll just finish this. And the washable markers we're going to mist with water, and you'll see the magic that happens. Okay, so that's done. Now this is what it looks like, and you'll see that it really doesn't go through the back. Now you can leave it just like this, that's fine. But if you want to mist it with a spray bottle of water, just a little bit, it will turn out like this, and the back gets colored too. You can also drip a little bit of water on with your fingers, or maybe even a spoon. Just a little bit. Let it dry, and then you can use it just like this, or you can make a decorative edge. Fold it in half, and then in half again. And then I like to fold it one more time. Now I'm going to cut this with scissors in sort of a rounded point, so it looks a bit like a feather, like the tip of a feather. And then open it, and it looks like that. Now that's kind of fun. Now you glue this to the turkey, the decorated turkey. And there you have that turkey. Now if you want to use, I just used a bowl about 7-8 inches, traced around it on a paper bag or grocery bag. And if you want to make a half, fold it in half. And this is a little bit thick, so I'm going to cut this in half and just use it as a single layer. And then for the paper, paint shows up a little bit better, but you can try markers if you want. And once it dries, you can again fold it to make a decorative edge, just like you did with the coffee filter. So it depends on what you like. And I'm going to cut this just a little bit differently. I think I'll cut this with a rounded shape. It'll just be a little bit different than what I did for the other one. And then I think I'll cut a notch out of the top. Flip it over and do the other side. Let's see what that looks like. I haven't done this before. We'll see if we like it. We might like it. Okay. Kind of interesting. Sort of a zigzag. Where is that other side? Oh, here it is. So there you go. I think that's kind of fun too. Now this turkey right here uses this technique. And this turkey here uses this technique. So there's two ideas for you. So I hope you have a beautiful Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us, and have fun making some turkeys. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome to Crafts for Kids. I'm Jann. Our nation has many holidays, really big ones. And the next big one is Thanksgiving. And whether it's Thanksgiving, July 4th, or a birthday, I love the idea of creating something special for the table. And for Thanksgiving, I thought it'd be fun to make a woven placemat. It's paper. And I'll show you how to do it. It's kind of mesmerizing, weaving in and out. This is sturdy paper, also known as cardstock. And you can do, this is about 1¼ inch wide strips in both directions. You can do a slightly narrow one. And you can also do create one that's uneven. And this is so easy. And I still think it looks great. So I'll show you exactly how to do it. The paper I'm working with is just standard. It's like 9 by 12, 8½ by 11. So the first step is to fold it in half, because we're going to make the base. Match the corners, and then give it a nice crease in the middle. And the next step is to take a pair of, I think big scissors work best here, and just start cutting strips. Cutting it to about 1 inch or so at the top, because that's what holds it all together. And these strips, I'm cutting small, big, small, really big. They're not even straight. Skinny, medium, and then sort of medium again. And then we open it up. That was fun. That's the base. Incidentally, this is how fabric is woven. This is called a plain weave. There are variations on weaving, but the one I'm going to show you now is the plain weave. So then we take strips in different widths and start weaving. Okay, the first one is going to be over and then under the next one. Over and under. Over this strip and then under the next one. And then over the next strip, and then under the next strip. Over the next strip, and then under the next. And then over the next strip, and then under. And then sort of push it to the top. So that's one strip. Now I'm going to take a different color. I'm going to take a really skinny yellow one. I'm going to do just the opposite of this. So they all hold together. This was over to begin with. This time I'll do under. I'm going to do just the opposite of what that is. Over, under, and then over the next one, under the next one, and then over the next, under, and at the end I'm going to do over. And then I push it like this. Just want to sort of gently nudge them together. See sort of a checkerboard forming? Now, what color have I not used? I've not used brown. Okay, I think now I want to make it just the opposite, weave it just the opposite of this. So I'm going to go over to begin with, over and under, over and under, over and under. You sort of pick up the strips to get the strip under. Over the strip, under the next one, over the next, and then under. So it makes this fun checkerboard. And I think I'll do one more. Let's see what color I have not used. I don't think I've used orange. So I'm just going to take one of these and just cut a strip. I think I'll do kind of a wide strip. You can see that it's not straight. Doesn't matter. Again, I'll do just the opposite of this. So this time I'll start under the first one, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, and then over at the last. So you can see how that is forming, and push that to the edge. When you're finished, it's nice to glue the loose edges down And then afterwards you can trim them. But it ends up looking something like this. So you can see the difference. I love both, actually. This one just happens to be easier. These are straight, marked with a ruler. These are cut freehand. So they're both good. Now, things you can do with them. You can tape two underneath to make either a centerpiece or a big placemat. Or you can make them end to end to do a runner. Do like 3 or 4, a runner down the center of the table. Or you can take two big strips and glue them to the edge to make a proper placemat. So these are all ideas that you can do in different colors. For Valentine's Day, these are just little swatches. You can do pink and red. For Christmas, you can do, or winter holidays, red and green. For July 4th, red, white, and blue. For a birthday, the sky's the limit. You can even maybe do a metallic, a piece of strip of paper in there. You can do whatever you like. But I hope you have great fun weaving paper placemats for your next holiday. Thank you for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy everything. Bye-bye.